While haunted houses are a staple of Halloween entertainment, most of them are just for fun. But we're here in Pleasanton right now to hear from some locals about what they say are some real haunted historical sites. Pleasanton, California's Museum on Main holds multiple ghost walks during October. 2022 marks the 18th year the city has put on the event. Sarah Schaefer, executive director of the museum, talked about the locations and stand-in ghosts.
We've been doing this for 18 years. This is a very fun way for our community to get into the Halloween spirit. We have 10 different haunted locations where we have actors presenting the ghost stories that we've compiled over the years, and we have adult actors and high school actors from the Firehouse Art Center, and it's just a great way to learn the history of Pleasanton and also learn about our many haunted locations.
It was the second building built. It was about 1864.
These actors work to bring the ghosts to life, telling the stories of the spirits of people who are claimed to haunt the buildings. Sarah emphasized that the stories are all based on locals' encounters.
A lot of times ghost walks can be people just making up stories and telling you the history, or you tour a graveyard, which is so great and interesting and spooky, but they're not always actually experienced hauntings, and so that's what we're telling in our ghost walk.
Pleasanton's annual ghost walk began as a fundraiser. Rebecca Bruner, a board member for the museum, says she got the idea for the event after the museum heard stories of hauntings at certain locations.
Found stories from stores only downtown, and then we also I brought ghost trackers and went out with them a number of nights till all hours in the morning. These places let us put up all of our equipment, and we'd stay and see what we could get. Then we also brought psychics several times and got their stories about these haunted places, and that's how we put the stories together.
She says the stores had to have some indication of ghost activity to be part of the ghost walk. Rebecca acts as the ghost of the museum and is the first ghost guests meet on the tour.
Well, I've died and I'm still here as a ghost. That is the best evidence. No, not really. But we have fun with it. But the evidence that we've seen is pictures that sometimes, what you look at with the naked eye, looking out a window or whatever, someone takes a picture and something is looking back at you. Noises.
One of the most active locations is said to be the Gay 90s Pizza Parlor.
Some of the great stories are, I think that one of the first years we did it, I went to the Gay 90s and there was a new manager there, and he said, I don't believe in ghosts. I said, that's fine, but we're going to be coming, just letting him know what the whole situation was. And I went back after the ghost walk and asked him how it went, and he said the very first morning of the ghost walk, he was in the restaurant by himself, and he heard a woman's voice call his name. He looked around a little bit. There was nobody there. Shortly after that, there came knocking from the basement side of the basement door. He didn't go check it out.
In a mirror at the pizza parlor, some say the word boo can be faintly seen but can't be wiped off. Others have claimed to see a lady in blue in a second-story window. Another location is the Pleasanton Hotel.
During Ghost Walk, people have experienced things. So at the Pleasanton Hotel, for example, upstairs there is a woman who haunts that location named Lily, who was murdered allegedly in the late 1800s when that location was a hotel and saloon. And so she still haunts the upstairs, and people have captured her image in the mirror right where she was allegedly murdered.
See, I came to Pleasanton in 1870, and I saw a lot of promise in this little town. See, there was the Transcontinental Railroad coming through here, a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of money changing hands, and a lot of lonely gentlemen looking for a hauntingly good time.
The story goes that one of her evening acquaintances was jealous of her meeting other men.
So he got so enraged that he ended up pulling a knife on me. Now, this wasn't the first time I'd ever had a knife pulled on me. Kind of an occupational hazard, if you will. So I did what I always did. I pushed him off and I went running down this stairwell. Except on that night, it was just like any other night. That door was locked.
Lily is said to have been murdered right in front of the mirror.
So now I roam these halls causing nothing but trouble. Rustling papers around, flickering the lights when I can, though not as much fun anymore now that the building's considered a little bit older. They just attribute it to faulty wiring. Kind of sucks the fun right out of it.
Other stories don't involve visual apparitions, but changes in surroundings.
I know in some of the other haunted buildings, the railroad station, people have gotten locked inside, and the dentist office, people have gotten locked inside bathrooms and inside their offices.
This reporter didn't happen upon any ghastly encounters, but learned a lot along the way.
It's also a lot of history about what Pleasanton was and what, so they get that history, but they also have the fun thing about the ghosts. And yet nobody touches anybody. There's no scary things like that happen. So it's just beautiful evenings to walk around and hear great stories and have fun with your family.
Though Sarah and Rebecca joke that they lose people on the tour, they both say it's a great event for the community. Daniel Hall, NTD News, Pleasanton, California.